Hey, everybody. I am back again. So another of our esteemed colleagues, a wonderful human being and a brilliant person by the name of Jennifer Kearns, asked in the syllabus questions assignment from week one if I could give a little bit more information about how one goes about writing, putting together a strong, excellent synthesis paper. And this is important in our class because the synthesis papers are worth 100 points each, and there's two of them. So these are very high stakes papers, even though they're only 700 words long. And so you might actually have a weekly assignment worth 10 points that you have more word count on than one of these papers. And so these are high stakes papers. It's important that you get it right. So I want to tell you a little bit about how to do that. These are called synthesis papers. The reason why they're called synthesis papers is because what I want you to do is to integrate discussion from more than one source. Integrate discussion from multiple course sources. So you will have prompts that you will find on ReggieNet in the assignments area. If you scroll down to the bottom, they're both there now, both sets of prompts for synthesis paper 1 and synthesis paper 2. So in some of the prompts, I'm going to actually say to you, use this reading, that reading, and this reading. And other prompts, part of the test is, can you figure out which readings I'm asking you to use? But in each case, you are going to use at least 3 readings from our class, okay? So this is a synthesis paper in which I'm asking you to use material that I've assigned you. I'm not asking you to go to the World Wide Web to find this material. I'm asking you to use only the material that I've assigned you. Now, does that mean that you cannot use an outside source if it's a really good one? No, it doesn't. It just means that what I'm testing you on is the stuff that I assigned you. And this information that I'm sharing with you here overlaps with the information I shared with you before when I put together that video on how to do the work for this class more broadly. So what I want from you out of these synthesis papers is you to convey to me, your mastery of the assigned material. So that could be my lectures, that could be the readings, that could be the podcasts, whatever the assigned material is. So synthesis is integration, right? It's being able to take content from one reading and apply it to content from another reading, to be able to take content from a third reading and use it to make sense of, to clarify, or to expand on content from another reading. It's bringing multiple readings together: application, integration, synthesis, okay? The other thing that it needs to do is it needs to be well organized. And what well organized means to me is, that's too much of an indentation. I don't like that at all. Let's try this. Still too much of an indentation. Let's try this. Perfect. Well organized to me means that it has a clear, concise, yes, I can write, concise thesis statement. Okay, so that thesis statement, that's your argument. That is the claim that you are making, that you are now trying to convince your reader is true, or should at least be considered. Okay, so I want you to stake a claim. I want you to make an argument. An argument here does not mean the spat that you have with your parent or sibling or significant other. Argument here is a position that you can defend with logic and argumentation and evidence. So you might say, well, social capital is very important for the development of social infrastructure, but you also need social infrastructure to create social capital. So which one of those things comes first? Well, I would like to argue that social infrastructure comes first, right? That is a way, for example, that you might integrate the material we read on social capital and the material we read on social infrastructure, and you bring them together and you create something new and something that is uniquely yours out of that, right? So I read this thing about social capital, I read this thing about social infrastructure. I see how these two things are overlapping. I see how you've got to have good libraries and good parks and good sidewalk before you can really get people together and talking and on the same page about civic issues. But on the other side of that token, you need the people to come together in order to create the parks and the sidewalks and the libraries and the bars and all the things. And so there's a chicken egg dilemma, right? I'm just making this up. I mean, I'm not, but you know what I mean? It's an example. So there's a chicken egg dilemma there. So your job then is to get in on that chicken egg dilemma, to discover the chicken egg dilemma, first of all, on your own, and then to stake your claim on that. Well, I think social infrastructure should come first, and here's why, right? As an example. So that is how you put together a thesis statement, an argument, a central claim to your paper that is grounded in the assigned materials for the class, okay? And then once you have your clear, concise thesis statement, which by the way should be it should be in the introductory paragraph of your paper. And then I want each subsequent paragraph should relate back to, should move that argument forward. Every subsequent paragraph, each paragraph is its own main idea and only that main idea. So if you have a second main idea, it goes in a second paragraph. One main idea per paragraph, okay? And each main idea, that is to say each paragraph, each subsequent paragraph after the introduction, must move that argument forward. It must contribute to your effort to substantiate and justify the validity, the merit, the veracity of the argument that you're making, the claim that you're staking. And then, of course, you return to the main idea in the conclusion. And then finally, your synthesis paper will convey to me. Oh, wait, I've already said that, actually. I was going to write convey to me the mastery of the assigned material, but that's already been written. I said that, so I don't want to repeat myself. So hopefully this is clear. I would encourage you to have questions and to articulate those to me, and I will do my damnedest to answer you promptly and fully. Okay, so synthesis paper, that's how you do it. Also see my other video on how to do the work for this class, because there is a lot of content in that video that is also relevant for this video that I'm not including here because I included it there. Thank you. Have a good one.